INAH is suing the MrBeast representation firm Full Circle Media for promoting products in the viral video, and there may be further punishment, as the president of Mexico actually made a comment about this, saying if the permission was violated, we will see what sanctions come. MrBeast is getting sued by Mexico, and no, this is not clickbait. The president even said that if they find enough wrongdoing, that there might be sanctions held against MrBeast and his media company. Now, this situation was kicked off by MrBeast's video. I explored 2,000-year-old ancient temples, and in this video he explores historical sites like El Castillo and Chichen Itza, which is one of the wonders of the world. Now, there's a bit of confusion with this story, so I want to clarify it right now. There's two big points of this. Number one is the actual reasoning behind the lawsuit that's been levied against MrBeast, or more specifically his media company, by Mexico. And the other point, which we're going to talk about first, is what a lot of people were assuming the lawsuit was for, but isn't actually truthful. And in essence, it's really just Mexico calling out that MrBeast fakes his videos. Go figure. And we're specifically talking about certain moments in the video where they frame it as if they were doing something that, if they had actually been doing it, it would have been illegal. We're going to go through this in the same order that this news article went through these points, and I'll provide a link to this article in the description. The first point is actually this right here, the opening of the video, where they get dropped off by the helicopter, or he insinuates this on top of this temple. Not just insinuates, he says it flat out.
He just got dropped off on this 2,000-year-old ancient temple. Well, we're so high up. We're surrounded by jungle. See you later.
And then additionally, one of the smaller things is that he was implying that they were spending the night on some of the nights that they were in here, staying in one of the archaeological sites. This is the article that I'm going off of here. Mexican authorities decry distorted information in MrBeast's video filmed at ancient Mayan sites. Now, I know you may be asking yourself, why are we even going over this? It's not even what the lawsuit is about. And I am absolutely there with you. It's simply that these points were of contention and people were getting this conflated with the actual reasoning behind the lawsuit. And so I wanted to point out these different things that they were talking about, because people were having issues with it, because technically the way that he depicted what he was doing, like sleeping in archaeological sites or descending from the helicopter and a few of the others that I'm about to show you, doing these things would have been illegal or broken the terms of the permits that he had to visit these sites. And so people were calling it out, not knowing that it was fake. And these falsifications had to be clarified by Mexico's National Institute of Anthropology and History, the INAH. And they clarified that MrBeast's filming adventure was all above board, with the exception of a few pieces of distorted information that they took pains to correct. I already covered the first two examples, which were more of just kind of like implied, versus these ones where MrBeast just straight up lies. The first of these two is him holding what he claimed to be an ancient mask.
Oh. Whoa, what?
It is a funerary mask. This is the face of one of the kings of the Snake Kingdom.
The Mayans used masks like this one to shield those that have passed away from dangers on their journey to the underworld. Can I hold it?
Yes.
This was made over 1,000 years ago.
Yes.
Which means my great-great-great-great-great-grandparents weren't even alive. Why is this not in a museum? Why is a YouTuber holding this? Get this away from me. Take it, take it.
Don't tell anybody.
So he makes it sound like he's actually holding one of these ancient masks and, you know, does this little freak out thing. It wasn't a real one, it was a replica. And here we can see that the INAH statement clarifies that MrBeast's producers never possessed a pre-Hispanic mask, adding that the one presented is clearly a contemporary reproduction. And now the last falsification that would have been a big deal if it wasn't a lie had to do with them flying a drone into one of the wonders of the world.
At the top of this pyramid is a temple so sacred to the locals that no one is allowed up there, which begs the question of what Mayan secrets lay in that ancient room. Out of respect for the culture and all the people who hold this very sacred, we are not going to touch the temple. Instead, we're going to fly this drone up to see what's in that secret room. You cool with this?
Yeah, this cool.
Godspeed. Oh my gosh, this looks so majestic. I'm dying to know. All right, let's see what's in this room.
So them flying this drone into El Castillo at Chichen Itza did not happen. He made it seem like they flew this drone inside, but that also was not true, as pointed out by INAH. They say here, in reference to one of the final segments in the video, the Institute clarified that no drone flight was carried out inside El Castillo, one of the most famous structures at Chichen Itza. Rather, the flight took place outside the structure. So there you have it. The INAH pretty much was like, no, none of that stuff that you saw in the video like that was an issue. It was all about above board. We took care of all of it. And as a matter of fact, they're really excited with the hopes of this gaining publicity and inciting and exciting, you know, younger generations to be interested in taking a look at this stuff. And they're really happy that it might also bolster up tourism. And they say, despite these false assertions, the INAH maintains in its statement that MrBeast's videos can motivate interest in young audiences in Mexico and around the world to learn about Mexican history and ancestral cultures. And so by all accounts, based off of what we've talked about so far, it seems like this has been a net positive thing. And probably it has been, at least for the tourism and the interest in this stuff that MrBeast video is certainly going to generate. Well, now let's get into why MrBeast is actually getting sued. But before that, I need to flip a coin. Here's that coin. Go ahead and call it heads or tails. I'll give you a couple seconds. There you go. And that is heads. Now, if you called heads, congratulations. You just won an opportunity to watch me beg you to subscribe. And if you got tails, look away.
Can you please subscribe to me, please? I want to super play my head.
But on a serious note, if you could consider subscribing to the channel or giving this video a thumbs up, it's a small thing you can do that makes a big impact for me. And I really appreciate it. Everyone that's subbed here, everyone that's liked the video, you guys are the reason that I get to do this. And I greatly, greatly appreciate it. And this is unfortunately how I show you my appreciation. So thank you. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy the rest of it. I figured to show you guys what this lawsuit is about, I just show you guys the clips that are specifically the reason why it's happening. And it has to do with this one right here of him showing Feastables. And he does this sweet little, oh my gosh, look at that 3D animation, buy Feastables, Target, Walmart, 7-Eleven. And not just that, but they also do this subscriber, you know, get $50,000. And the reason they're doing this is because they're sponsored by Jack Links. Well, it turns out that was a breach in their permissions for having a permit to visit some of these ancient sites. Now, this is from another article. This will be the second one that I link in the description, but they say here another issue is that in his video, he advertises products that INAH didn't agree with. INAH claims that part of the agreement was not to monetize the video. Per Reuters, INAH said the permission granted to Full Circle Media did not authorize the use of images of the archaeological site for profit advertisements of private brands. And so subsequently, that currently has over 60 million views at this point. Now, in regard to what sanctions mean in this kind of aspect, asking ChatGPT, what I found was that this could mean fines for unauthorized commercial use of the archaeological sites. There could be compensation for those damages that could be anywhere from, you know, tens of thousands to millions of pesos, which is still a lot of money in US dollars as well. But it might also lead to a filming ban, or at least a heavily restricted future ability to film in Mexico for the MrBeast company, or pretty much anyone affiliated with the media company that MrBeast was using. And the INAH has already demanded a public retraction, essentially meaning that they need to remove or alter the video in some way and publish a correction clarifying the misleading elements, some like the ones we discussed earlier. And they might even need to issue an apology, but I don't really know how far that goes with like them actually having to appease these demands or where that ends up shaking out. Now, as this video comes to a close, I'm interested to hear what you guys think, because I do find it personally interesting from what I've seen that it seems like they did most of their stuff above board. They were trying to be respectful about it. A lot of the locals, including the governor from the area that he was filming in, were very happy with the potential uptick in tourism, as well as, you know, inspiring younger generations to be interested in this kind of history. And it seems like people aren't nearly as bothered about the falsifications made because they ended up being fake. As a matter of fact, if they were more true, that would have been more of an issue. I am with the INAH though, that if they set it up that, hey, none of this filming and stuff will be going to an advertised video or a monetized video, and them going back on that is a bit scummy. And I'm interested to see where that lawsuit goes and if any sanctions follow, as the president made a remark about. But that's it for the video. Enjoy your Friday evening or whatever time it is for you if you're somewhere else in the world. I don't know. And I'll see you guys later. Adios, peace, bye.